Hello, I'm Megan Story, and I'm going to be presenting over Module 1, Various Communication Forms for EDL 856 School Community Relations. So a little bit about me. I am a mother of three. My children are all under the ages of 4, so you will see here in this picture, this is me. My daughter Sailor, my son Milo, and my oldest Jackson. I live south of the Kansas City Metro. I am a teacher. I have been a second grade teacher, a fourth grade teacher, as well as a varsity volleyball coach, a varsity cheer coach. I'm currently teaching at Spring Hill Middle School, where I am a science teacher. This year with COVID was a little bit different. I had to teach sixth grade in person, our sixth grade optional remote learning, which was for both of our middle schools, which is an online platform. And then eighth grade in person. I was also a girls basketball coach. I've been teaching for 8 years in 4 different school districts in 3 different states, in the states of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri. My educational background, I have a bachelor's in elementary education, which is K-8 through Northwestern Oklahoma State University. I have my first master's from Fort Hays State in instructional technology, and I'm currently finishing my building leadership master's also. So when we are talking about this assignment, forms of communication that we're going to talk about today, there are various forms, different tools, methods, and then district strategic plans and policies that are used. Forms of communication. So some forms of communication that my district specifically uses would be our school district website is our is our number one platform. We also have a mobile app that I'll show you here in a second. We have notifications and alerts that very much aware us of that. Your kind of just normal emails. Social media, we use a lot of different platforms, and I'll go over that here in a second also. We use video for those social media platforms, regulars like what we call snail mail, and then Skyward is the learning management system that we use. I put a graphic on here from Williams of 2020 to show you what different schools use and how those applications can be used throughout technology so that you can see the different tools that people are using nowadays and able to use. And I think sometimes it just depends on kind of what district you live in and the demographics. But ultimately, I live in a very affluent district that is able to participate in a lot of these. And so this is how we spread the word in my district all the time. Through websites, like I said, the mobile apps, different alerts, email, social media, and then videos. So as I spoke about here a little bit ago was our mobile application. So I teach in Spring Hill, USD 230, and we actually have our own communications department, which is different than a couple of the districts I've taught in that were smaller. But we have a lot of benefits to this for students, for parents, employees, residents, and taxpayers. And so with our app, it allows us to get connected with those people. You can download it. It'll show you your lunch menus, your calendar events, news and things that are currently changing. We use social media. So our communications director is going to use things like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We have a Learning Leader magazine that goes out biannually. And so it'll say a lot of different things. And then we have a ton of realtors and developers and other business partners that have a realtor section in our district because we are growing so much. Since I've been in this district, I think 5 years, and we currently have 2 middle schools. We built one while I've been here, and then we're building a third. So it's a pretty quick turnaround. So when taking the quiz today with the introductions, big time introductions for networking essentially is the big goal. We want to give a first impression with emotion, smile, grace, kind of respect. All that is built in the value of your introduction. And so the biggest thing is it provides that networking opportunity, which currently when I do introductions, they're pretty basic, like name, job title, the description, like your personal basic info. But as I become an administrator, my goal is to build those meaningful relationships with stakeholders. In order to achieve this, I think I've been shown a great role model with my current principal and former principals, is that it's beneficial to have like a back to school night, like a meet and greet with the principal where the principal is transparent out in the open, greeting families. Also, transparency can be seen via communication of videos that are published to the school website or social media so that they can just see a friendly face, know that you're a human, because a lot of times I think when we are talking from a digital standpoint, we're not a human to them. It's not, there's no emotion. And I think monthly Q&A sessions, kind of like coffee with a principal, and we can do this online nowadays. Everybody's learned Zoom, to allow parents to have a voice and be heard. And I've been lucky enough to have a principal that's very forward thinking and uses technological avenues to get the word out. He was even digital principal of the year for a national administrators service. So I mean, he's kind of figured it out. Then communication via district strategic policies. So we have no actual, what I would say, communication plan via the district, but we have been taught to use common languages, as you will see here in our strategic plan, such as college ready, career ready, life ready. And so in a large district, we already are given communication direction because we have a communications director. And a lot of this has gone through in our new teacher orientation. So CLO 5.3 correlation. So when we were talking about this standard where students understand and demonstrate the capacity to communicate through oral, written, and digital means within the larger organization, community, and political context when advocating for their needs for their schools and communities. So I ultimately believe that in the digital age, communication is key in allowing stakeholders the ability to connect with their school and community. There are multiple avenues that provide the opportunity for communication. By researching and accessing the newest technology shown throughout this presentation helps staff to gain the capacity needed for students' needs of advocacy from positive to negative and everywhere in between. So when we have to make a relevancy statement, as an educator, I truly focus on the basic forms of communication with parents, students, and other staff. The usual phone call, orally, or email in writing, I have found to be effective with direct communication that allows for the opportunity for all parties to respond. In this assignment, I was able to reflect on how important communication as well as introductions are inside and outside of the classroom. I feel that if I was to use more of a texting style application to send information to parents, especially with quick notes awareing parents of successes that are happening within the classroom, would be beneficial currently as a teacher. I've been lucky enough to have principals that think outside the box when it comes to communicating with the community, especially during a challenging time like COVID. While your traditional newsletters are sent out, videos that go out on all social media outlets are the most effective communication within our building for daily updates. Having a pocket full of ideas to implement within my building to get buzzwords out of the community can only help the school's environment with the ultimate goal of meeting student needs. So as I reflected on this assignment, as an educator, we focus on communication only within our classrooms typically. So as a building leader, we focus on all aspects of school that we needed to communicate to all stakeholders, whether it's within the school communication or allowing others the opportunity to know what is taking place within the school. When stakeholders are allowed the opportunity to voice their opinion and be in the know of what is occurring within their child's education, this bridges the gaps between home and school. The ultimate goal is for all students' needs to be met via communication, whether it's within the classroom at the teacher level or in the office at the principal level. The avenues of communication may vary greatly depending on the demographics of the school's district's area. For example, I've taught in a very rural district where almost all students did not have internet access due to no internet connection being provided in the area. Therefore, communicating via technology was irrelevant and less effective than traditional phone calls or mail. It was a very common if they could not reach a student by phone or by mail. Our school resource officer, principal, and lead teacher would make house calls to students. On the flip side of that, I'm currently in a very affluent district that most communication is done digitally, which has also created another set of problems. My building went through a large transformation with 13 new teachers coming in and realizing the importance of communication with parents. Building that relationship piece is also vital to education. Digital communication can be very beneficial, but it tends to lack that emotion of communication and does not provide the direct communication that allows a parent a voice. I realized while completing this assignment the need for the various forms of communication because what works for one family may not work for another. While I believe being in the trenches truly teaches the importance of all communication, I feel that gaining capacity of communication, I will be better able to improve my communication. And with that being said, that is my project for Module 1 in School and Community. Here are my references by Williams 2020.